I want to talk a little bit about something that happened to a friend of mine recently. A few years ago, many of you remember all the big floods and things that happened up at Grand Forks. His house was completely wiped out, and there was a battle with insurance and stuff, and he basically just let the house go back, let it go into foreclosure, moved here to the cities. He'd been living here for, I think it was 4 or 5 years, roughly, and he was getting ready to move out of state. He had his mortgage with one of the big national lenders. I'm not going to say which one, but it was a big one. And they also have a lot of banks around, and so he had his money, his savings account there, he had his checking account there. He had been banking with this particular institution, for his entire adult life. 4.5, 5 years later, he was getting ready to move out of state, and the day before he moved in, they went in and swept his accounts, which basically means that they confiscated all of the cash that he had in savings, all the cash he had in checking. He was left basically bone dry, and so it's something he agreed to as part of his arrangement. It was tied to his mortgage, tied to his banking relationship, and he's not disputing that he owed the money, but it really left him in a really awkward, vulnerable spot. Luckily, he hadn't paid a whole bunch of bills the night before and had a bunch of checks out, or those checks all would have bounced. And so this is one of those things where it's like nobody really wants to think about it, but it's become kind of falls under the idea of protect yourself. So if you're banking at the same place you're doing your mortgages and things start to go sideways, it's probably a good idea to get that money out of there and put it in a different lending institution. They are unable to access that money without some type of a directive from a court. But if it's in the same institution as the mortgage, and if something is going sideways, they can in fact come in and sweep it. So we just closed a property today, and I was talking about that with the buyers, and it's kind of a buzzkill thing, but it is something to kind of keep in the back of your mind for a rainy day. So part of our job is to make sure we're protecting our clients in all aspects related to their real estate transaction in good times and bad. If you've got questions about any of those things, want to go down the rabbit hole deep, give me a call. Love to help.